This is a black leopard, and as the picture suggests, an angry animal. His name was Diablo. Black leopards were once found in southern and central Africa. Now they're more often found in zoos. After time in a German zoo, Diablo was sold to a Southern Cape wildlife sanctuary. He was such an angry leopard that he never came out of his shelter.
He's a dangerous cat. He's very, very dangerous.
In desperation, 18 months ago, the sanctuary owner, Jurg Olsen, invited an animal communicator to come and speak to the leopard.
I was feeling a natural amount of fear because even through the bars of the fence, he was very overtly snarling and hissing and not wanting anyone to be within a few meters of him.
Anna took the lead in their communication, and their relationship improved almost immediately.
And right away I projected to him that I was there with a peaceful feeling to really hear what he wanted to let humans know and what he might need changed to become happier. And just at me sending him that thought, he right away calmed down. He stopped snarling. His eyes went peaceful and half closed, and he allowed me to be 1 meter away from him for a good 10-15 minutes while we had this exchange of thoughts and feelings in silent ways.
Anna Breytenbach is a former IT systems analyst who lives outside Sedgefield in the Southern Cape with her partner and their rescue cats. She discovered the field of telepathic animal communication while doing a tracking course in the United States. Anna says she was taught by a guide while tracking a coyote to see beyond looking up footprints in a field guide. She says it's the art of knowing.
I could just, when I was with tracks, sink into a knowing of how the animal was feeling in their body when they passed at that time and left those tracks. I could sense how heavily or lightly they were walking, and I could connect with them through the tracks where they were now, see and know where they were in the present tense.
To some, this might sound improbable, but it's not new. Ancient cultures practiced it centuries ago.
And this is something that the master trackers in indigenous cultures had as well. They didn't need to look at footprints anymore.
But for Anna, entering this world of knowing brought with it its own challenges.
When I began to get mental images happening spontaneously, honestly, the first thing I thought is that I should probably go see a psychiatrist or something. I had no way to place this in my world at all, because my very skeptical mind kept on putting it down to, oh, just a lucky guess, or oh, I could have thought of that anyway.
Anna began studying telepathic animal communication. She says that among her case studies, one in particular stood out.
I was communicating with a Rottweiler dog, and I had to ask him general questions. What's your favorite toy? Is there anything missing from your life? And when I asked about is there anything missing, I got the sudden mental image of a fish eagle flying through the sky and the upper part of a man's arm. And when I told this young 30-year-old lady what I had seen in my mind's eye, she burst into tears and revealed that her young husband had died in a car crash the year before, and he had had a tattoo of an eagle on his bicep. And so the dog was missing the man of the house.
And that did it for you?
That case certainly did it for me. It proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that I must have been hearing something directly from the animal. And it doesn't mean that I'm not still self-doubting or have my skeptical days. I certainly do. I've just learned what the quality of that inner voice of self-doubt is, and I can choose to ignore what it's saying.
Anna has done much of her work with traumatized animals at a monkey sanctuary near Breytenbach Bay.
There's a sense of peace in knowing that animals that would otherwise not have made it in the wild or in life are kept safe and secure here in this magnificent forest.
Because of Anna, I believe that you can communicate with primates, with birds or with apex cats, because I've actually witnessed her doing so without knowing anything about the animals that she was meeting, and coming up with stuff that she wouldn't have known. And it's kind of like someone that is a little bit on the clairvoyant side. So he doesn't actually...
Just as Anna had her turning point, Laura says she too was forced to abandon the cynic inside.
Well, she came and did a documentary at our sanctuary called Animal Communicator, and she was working with one of our primates, Attifer. And she had not known, there was no way that she could have known that Attifer was an ex-laboratory monkey. And she was talking about Attifer as if she knew all kinds of things. She knew too much about Attifer.
In the forest, amid capuchins, spider and squirrel monkeys, and ring-tailed lemurs, we came across a gibbon called Siam.
Well, Siam's feeling very comfortable and very integrated with the forest now. But it was a tough first 6 months or so. She really didn't know her place, and because she didn't have another gibbon to identify with or to partner with.
Is that maybe one of the reasons that she's never called? She doesn't sing.
Ah,
Atlas sings, Chickalong and Booney sing.
Okay.
She doesn't sing.
that would absolutely confirm that, because she's not feeling the need to mate. That's not on her radar at all, so that would explain the absence of calling this last year.
Jurg was in need of a little help himself. His wildlife sanctuary was in danger of closing, and the future of his beloved cats under threat. As Anna knew them both, she approached Laura with the idea of providing his cats with a new home. As she and Jurg respect animals, Laura agreed. Jurg was happy because Diablo's future was now assured, as was that of a good friend of 6 years, a white Bengal tiger named Angelo.
He would definitely not have made it. Definitely. He was destined for a canned hunt. He was destined to be killed.
Because Angelo is going blind, Jurg's previous business partner had him destined for the canned hunting industry. This promise of a new home, where they have now been for 6 months, meant freedom and security. It's the way Jurg feels about his cats.
They changed me from, I shouldn't say, maybe say this loud, but from an asshole to almost call it an idiot for them. They taught me and they learned me love, unconditional love, abundance. Hello! Come. Come, Sal. Come, boy. Come, Sal. Come. People think you're stupid if you act like this. But to me, this is my family.
And an important part of that family is the leopard once known as Diablo. Jurg says he was a different animal after Anna's visit, and to recognize that, he is now called Spirit. Anna says Spirit had conveyed to her that he hadn't liked his old name.
Laura's partner, while his name was still Diablo, he certainly was feeling the weight of the expectation of him being aggressive and devilish, and he was being held in that, being held down by that negative frequency the whole time. So he didn't want to change or come out.
How did your relationship with Spirit change?
From 6 months without any response, one day talking to him, the next day, the very next day, completely different. Where he said, he told Anna he'd be waiting for me, exactly that's where he waited for me. The skeptics will be there, and the skeptics will always be there. And people think we're crazy, and I'm crazy, that's cool, it's not a problem.
Jurg says for an animal to leave the enclosure after 6 months inside, after one contact session with Anna, was a big deal.
It's a massive thing. Remember, we tried to get him out various means, food. We tried to lure him out with treats. I did the stupid thing of shutting his night shelter down.
He did not want to be seen, so he hung back in the shadows for the 7 months he'd been there. He had not come out once into the daylight.
How do you know he's happy?
Beforehand, he was, always growling, snarling, vicious. And then after Anna spoke to him and after he started coming out and showing himself and showing to the people, because today is one of the most docile cats here. I won't go in with him.
Anna says what changed for Spirit was that the attitude of Jurg and the people controlling his life changed.
They dropped any of the expectations and demands on him. And when they agreed to just let him be, to let him make his own choices rather than trying to entice him out or feel stressed about it, he felt a new freedom, an energetic freedom to just be left alone. And when left alone, he could on his own terms come out rather than the people waiting for him to, or hoping he would, or hope to take photographs and treat him as a tourist attraction. And he really got that they were willing to just let him be and make his own choices.
Anna says we should be communicating with our animals, starting at home. It might be the most sensible thing we hear all year, to pay attention to other life forms with whom we share the planet.